For the savvy shoppers who enjoy scouring for the deal of a lifetime, this Nike SB Dunk Low brings the deep discount ethos to your favorite skate shoe. It's kind of funny, the inspiration behind the shoe is like saving money, but they want you to spend money to buy a shoe inspired by saving money. Regardless, Nike SB Dunk Low, big money savings. The shoe is dropping on April 17th for $125 in the United States. And first impressions of the shoe, I think overall the colors chosen are pretty nice. It's got this kind of, I don't know, almost rugged aesthetic with the rope laces and the brown beige type of color to it. But it's also got like a certain level of elegance to it with the colors on the mid panel, that type of blue on the outsole. Yeah, I think it's a good mix between the two. I do like the colorway overall. Generally, I don't love dunks, but there are some dunk collaborations and storytelling that are just undeniable. Absolutely undeniable. And this shoe, even though it's not like one of my favorites that I've reviewed some really nice dunks past year. This one is not quite up there, but I think it's pretty nice. I really do. And the materials on this shoe, there's a few different types of materials. So first on the toe box area, that is like hemp canvas textiles in that brown greenish color that actually feels pretty soft. And then on the overlays, you have suede. And the suede, despite Nike calling it premium, I think it's pretty average suede. I don't feel like it's the best. I do think there's better suede than this, but it's not like that really trash suede that you get on like the MX1 Big Bubble OG colorway. That has that super synthetic suede, just feels terrible. And then on the swoosh, it is this cracked leather type of aesthetic. I generally don't love that too much, but it's just on the swoosh. And then on the mid panel, it is textured as well. So I believe it is leather with like this pattern that is embossed onto the shoe, so it's textured, you can feel it's raised. It's kind of corny, but the good thing about it is it's not like too out there on this shoe. It's pretty subtle, kind of blended into the color of the mid panel. It's not like a bright yellow or some random color that really makes it stand out, but you definitely notice it. And then on the ankle collar, wrapping all around the heel, you get this kind of textile again, and that is meant to represent home upholstery, kind of like that pattern that resembles like a lot of those baskets that you find in stores like the TJ Maxx's of the world. At least that's what it reminds me of. And then on the booty of the shoe, that font, you recognize that font. A lot of those live, laugh, love. Is that the order? Live, laugh, love. Live, love, laugh. I feel like I can't really say it properly, but those three words, that phrase oftentimes comes in font just like this one. If you haven't seen that type of font before, if it hasn't become like kind of corny, it actually doesn't look too bad. And just fun fact, I believe when images of this shoe first came out, the shoe was kind of unofficially dubbed as the Nike SB Dunk Live, Laugh, Love. They changed it to Big Money Savings, so obviously it was an inspiration for this shoe. And then moving on to the tongue, you can see it's slightly different as well. It is kind of textured with the straight lines going up and down. And if you didn't know, the Nike SB Dunks does have a fatter and slightly more padded tongue than a non-SB Dunk. I think it just feels better and looks slightly better. Of course, you get that Nike SB branding on the tag on the tongue. And then staying in this area of the shoe, of course, you get these rope-like laces. I actually really like how that looks on this shoe in particular. And my favorite thing about these types of laces, especially on the Dunks, just for practicality purposes, is just how easy it is to loop through the eyelets. I don't know, I think the Jordan 1s always gives me trouble. I always take quite a bit of time to like stuff the laces through the eyelets. This one's super easy. And this shoe, like a lot of Nike SB Dunks, does come with two extra set of laces. One in this baby blue kind of color, powder blue color to match the tongue, and then another one in red. Out of the three, I don't think I love that red color. It's either the blue or this color here, this kind of beige tan color. I think I'd probably stick with these laces out of the box, but out of those two, I wouldn't really mind either one. And another place that's kind of textured, kind of different to regular Nike SB Dunks is the ankle collar inside, the lining inside. There's like a pattern to it as well. And then speaking of the tongue, sticking true to the theme of the shoe, you see these like fun receipts and coupons. Again, playing to that whole discount shopper storytelling of the shoe. That is actually tearaway, so you can actually tear that out, don't have to keep that in. But yeah, nice little piece of storytelling there. Another thing that they add to the SB Dunks are these elastic kind of bands that keep the tongue together, so when you're skateboarding, tongue doesn't like move around too much. And the Nike SB Dunks comes with a rubber cup sole with a Zoom Air unit on the heel, So that's another big difference between the SBs and non-SB Dunks. The SBs does come with a Zoom Air unit. The shoe was predominantly made for skateboarders, so that really makes sense. And the outsole of the shoe, you're definitely familiar with this type of outsole. Again, a difference between the SBs and non-SBs. There is more concentric circles on the SBs, so when people go skateboarding, there's a bit more traction, and it's just a very beautiful outsole. Got speckles of white throughout. Got this kind of like stone aesthetic to it, I guess. And then this clay kind of Nike SB cutout. I think that looks really nice. And the insole of the shoe, it is branded with the floral pattern. Again, decor that you see in a lot of those kind of discount stores. Of course, the Zoom Air unit. In the box of the shoe, it is a purple box for a bit more general release SB Dunks. Nothing too special there. And in terms of sizing and comfort, I am a size 9.5 true to size. I do have big fat wide flat feet, but for SB Dunks, I go true to size. So 9.5 it is. I think it fits me pretty well. Toe box area, depending on the SB Dunk, I think, depending on the materials used. Sometimes it can come kind of stiff out of the box, break it in a little bit. This shoe, I don't really think there's much break-in time needed. The textile on the toe box is pretty loose and soft, so it doesn't come like super stiff out of the box. The SB Dunks offer slightly more padding inside the shoe, especially with that fatter tongue. So just keep that in mind. I don't think it affects sizing too much. So whether or not you have wide feet, I do recommend just sticking true to size. But the comfort overall, considering like the overall tech specs, it's pretty good. It does have a Zoom Air unit, but the rubber cup sole, shoes like that often come pretty clunky, pretty boxy and stiff. I think with the extra padding and cushioning, feels slightly better. It's nothing like Elite or anything, but it was made for skateboarders, so like active people in mind. So the comfort, especially for casual use, it's pretty good. And that brings the total sole score of the Nike SB Dunk Big Money Savings to 36 out of 50. Pretty decent score compared to other special releases. Now first, it is the colorway. Generally, I do like the colors on this shoe. I think the combination works pretty well. This earthy type of brown and this beige as well. They really fit what I like to wear. So generally, even though I don't think it's like a 10 out of 10, I think the colorway is pretty nice. In terms of the materials, there's a few different types of materials. Generally, I think it's okay to good, nothing like super premium or anything. I don't usually like textile on sneakers, just personal preference. The cracked leather on the swoosh, I don't love. I don't think it's like the best suede, but I don't mind like the change up on the ankle collar as well as the lining and on the tongue. Now in terms of comfort, I think the SB Dunks are generally a pretty comfortable shoe. I really wouldn't complain if I had to wear this shoe all day. I would only ever wear SB Dunks for casual use. I'm not like a skateboarder at all, never been on a skateboard. So I think for casual use for me, this is a comfortable shoe. In terms of the versatility, the SB Dunks are super versatile. You don't have to be a skateboarder to pull this off. It is a very wearable shoe. And in terms of the colorway, I think honestly, without the pattern on the mid panel, it's probably more versatile, more wearable. This one gives it a more, I don't know, horny, I don't know what the right word is. This one just kind of brings down the wearability a tiny bit, but at least it's not in like a super disgusting bold color. Overall, I still think it's a pretty wearable colorway. Generally, the colors are pretty muted or like earthy tones, and that's always a pretty wearable shoe. In terms of the overall storytelling, I think it's pretty well done as well, with the receipts and coupons on the inside of the tongue, as well as the Nike branding on the heel. I think it gets the point across. If I didn't know what this shoe was inspired by, like if I was just going in blind, would I have known or like figured out what the inspiration was? Maybe? I don't know, but overall I think the storytelling is good. This is the second Nike SB Dunk Low that I've reviewed this year. Compared to a lot of the heavy hitters that I was lucky enough to review last year, I don't think either one are as good as 2023 was, but thankfully, we're still early in 2024. Kind of early, I guess. I think they were both actually pretty nice and pretty decent. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Nike SB Dunk Low Big Money Savings. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.